the abusers. Scammers don't prey on stupid people, they prey on vulnerability, hope, love, and most importantly, trust. If y'all have any negative comments to say, feel free to send them directly to me because I can handle it. Y'all can
I'm TJ and this is Life Lessons. That clip I actually got from Onyeka's page because watching the various think pieces as well as certain excerpts from her story, it brought to mind parts of my own story. And it says, God changes your plans to save your life. In December 2016, I was in escrow to buy a home. I was moving out of a rental home that I really enjoyed into my own home. But 2 months prior to that, I had met that person who had put his hands on me. And I was supposed to close on that house on the 23rd of December. And it fell through and I was devastated. Devastated, because that was going to be my Christmas present to myself. So let's get into it. By this time, I still end up staying in that home, in the rental home. And because that person was in between homes, okay, he was renting a room out of a home, and then a situation happened that he lost his job. And because I was a person who didn't have to think about what my career was since 1998 when I went on active duty, I'm like, well, people have hard luck, hard times. So, he's my guy. I'm going to be there to help him and help him get on his feet. I invite him to come live in my house with me that I'm renting. So during the course of that time, he started to show, actually before that time, he had shown me a red flag that I chose to ignore. I told you about that. I chose to ignore it because from our very first meeting, when I met him at a park and he wanted to, we were talking in his car, and he wanted to show me his sound system, and all of a sudden he starts blaring this music that the so loud that the car was vibrating. And I looked visibly uncomfortable because it was a whole bunch of people. It was an affluent neighborhood, affluent park. And he looked like, what are you, or this, that, and the other. And instead of me saying, well, yes, I am, I just kind of clammed up and didn't say anything. So there should not have been a second date. Okay. So, but anyway, I chose to ignore the sign from the onset and later invited that person to come live in my house. And during the course of that time, he showed signs of disrespect. He showed signs of drug abuse that I chose to ignore. Because when I saw what I thought to be a pipe, I called a relative who had been a previous addict and sent a picture of it to them. And I said, what is this? I kind of knew what it was. And he said, oh, that's what it is. And when I brought it to his attention, what this person said to me was, we, in the place where I was renting a room, we had all of our stuff in the garage. So one of the other roommates must have put their stuff in there. And I bought it hook, line, and sinker. Right? Again, we justify stuff. But anyway, let's there are a whole bunch of stories in between, but I want to get to the part that how God changed my plans to save my life. So let's fast forward. So, the house fell through in 2016. He's living with me January 2017, through May. My brother, my older brother, was in California. He came to, we needed to get him out of California because he was not doing well. And me and my father said if he stays in California, he will not live. He will die. So I brought him to live with me. And of course, out of respect, even though it was my house, I told this person, I'm bringing my brother here. Now, of course, the guy was, had his concerns or reservations. But again, it was my house. You understand me? So my brother comes, I'm helping him to get on his feet, getting him squared away with the VA and all this kind of stuff. And my brother starts to, share some things that he's observing. And because my brother is starting to peep game, what this person starts to do is try to sow seeds of discord to my brother about me, as if my brother's not going to tell me. But what he was trying to do is to see if he could punk my brother. And because my brother was ill at that time, he probably thought that he could. Let's fast forward to June of 2017. By this time, I want him out of my house. By this time, I learned that he's already started to see someone else while he's living in my house. So I said, oh, you're going to get out of my house today. So I called the police, and the police come and let me know that because I've allowed him to stay there, I have to go through the process of serving him with notice to evict him. out of a place that he pays no bills. But I allowed him to stay there. So I write up the eviction notice, 30-day vacate for him to get out in July. Let's say the 15th of July comes, the night before he's supposed to be out, he starts to, try to start some shit. As if, you can tell when someone wants you to engage them. But I just wanted to kind of, try to keep it low profile so he could just leave. So the next day come, which is the 30 days, and I say to him, even though it was not true, I said, my family's coming down here, can you go ahead and move out so I can, get in there and clean up the room and blah, blah, blah. And he starts to say some very, snarky stuff. And I would have been gone if you would have did this and it was fine. You were making all this kind of fun of me in front of your family and blah, blah, blah. And I said, will you just leave, please? And he said, I'll go when I'm good and ready. And I said, no, you're going to go right now. So I pull my comforter off of him and he snatches it from me. And I pull it back because, mind you, the comforter was a comforter that was made for my daughter that had her name on it. So by this time, he grabs me and throws me down. And I scream. And before I knew it, the adrenaline was going. I didn't even realize I was hurt. So I said all that to say, once I got him out of there because the police came and, I called the police and he calls the police too. But when they got there, they saw that I was bleeding. And we got him out of the house. This is a long story, but I'm trying to make it as short as possible. But there are a lot of pieces into it. But I said to my brother when he came to visit me last week, because we were kind of reminiscing over it. And I said, I brought you here to save your life. And you ended up saving mine. Because had my brother not been there when that stuff happened, because when I screamed, my brother came in there and said, get the F off my sister. And see, mind you, I told you, early on, he was doing little things because he thought he could punk my brother because my brother was sick at the time. And he was trying to throw his weight around it like he was trying to intimidate my brother. And my brother wasn't, really engaging him. So he probably thought that he had punked my brother. But when my brother heard me scream, he could get the F off my sister. Came in there, pushed him off of me. And we were talking about it just the other day when my brother and sister-in-law were here. And I said, I brought you here to save your life and you ended up saving mine. And I said that to say, going back to this post that she had, God knew. He protected me. Because if I couldn't get him out of the house that I was renting, can you imagine what kind of damage he would have done had the house that I was trying to buy December 2016, had that gone through to get him out of that house? So God changed my plans, and he saw down the road that my brother was going to need me, I was going to need him. He saw down the road that this person ain't no good, even though I was being stupid and willfully ignorant to protect me from myself. Those are my thoughts. What are yours? Take that with you.